Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Fried Chicken Dingers.
Wait, I said something right as you began to speak.
Frick you, Barry.
Okay.
Welcome to the one and only Fried Chicken Dingers podcast. We're your hosts, Shabab Amman.
A group of former Little League teammates based in Amman, Jordan.
With a taste for fried chicken.
Join us as we discuss the latest news,
Rumors.
Theories.
And opinions in the world of baseball.
Join us monthly for...
Wait, guys. Do you seriously think we're going to be able to do the...
Barry!
Okay, sorry.
Join us monthly for all things baseball from fans of the Yankees,
Reds,
Twins.
White Sox,
Tigers.
Dodgers,
And the A's, right here on Fried Chicken Dingers.
All right, everyone, welcome to Fried Chicken Dingers, our third episode here. Shabab Amman. Welcome back.
Yeah.
Today we got everyone. We got me, Noah. We got David, Caleb, Barry, and then we got Josh and Paskey calling in. Jacob Benjamin Jenkins the first of Ohio is still on his way, but
he will hopefully arrive shortly.
Spring training is finally here, boys.
Thank goodness. It's been a long time coming.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, guys.
great.
I barely made it. I'm not going to lie, but it feels good. It feels very good.
Yeah.
It does.
Josh,
it does.
would you like to update us on the Tigers' current situation?
So, basically, the Tigers won their first game of spring training against the college team. We walked it off, which means it was a great game. Very exciting. And I'm pumped for this season. Ready to get more than 50 wins, hopefully.
Yep.
That would be nice. That would be good.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, the Twins did a little bit better, I believe.
Yeah, I fully expected them to do exactly what they did. And so that was nice to see.
I feel like the Twins were the one team that actually whooped the college team they played.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like
We had our-
16-0, right?
16-0. We essentially had our AAA team from Rochester playing on the field. So, and we still crushed them. So, I mean, it's
Wow.
good. It's good for the
Good
for the
future
of
for the Twins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
that is good.
And the Tigers kind of had their opening day roster playing.
We don't need to mention
And
that.
still almost managed to lose to a college team.
Weren't they like no hit through 4 innings or something like that?
Yeah.
We don't need to mention that.
Well, boys, the Houston Astros.
Well, first,
Never mind.
a recent
let's-
trade
let's
that you
not
should
rant
be
yet.
very,
Barry.
very happy about.
I am.
happened. Do you want to touch on that, Barry?
So essentially, our off season was absolute crap. We did completely nothing. We lost probably our best pitcher. We kept talking about doing stuff, but we never did. Probably could have got the best shortstop in the game, and Francisco Lindor didn't do that.
You lost your time.
Debatable.
What?
Who'd you lose?
We lost Ryu.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, Ryu.
So-
Ryu? Bueller's your best pitcher.
Bueller, though.
Not last season. Ryu was really good. I mean, Bueller's also
Ryu was
really good.
incredible.
But
Yeah.
Ryu was, I would say last season he was our best pitcher.
Yeah, but who knows?
Anyway.
Maybe this season it'll be different.
I'm very much hoping it is. Anyway, our off season absolutely sucked until we traded for Mookie Betts, and I was so excited. And then we didn't actually trade for Mookie Betts, and there was a week of just like sheer torture where I was like, okay, maybe my off season just is gonna suck after all. And if that trade wouldn't have gone through, I would have been so mad. But
And
it did.
Backstory: that Mookie Betts is one of Barry's favorite players.
Yes, he is.
Well, he is
So,
Barry's
he is
favorite player.
Barry's
Yes.
favorite player.
Yeah.
So he was really happy about that.
Yes. And actually, I'm really happy like how it all turned out because the second trade for us was way better than the first trade.
Right.
Because now
Really?
we also got Gratterall from the Twins, and we had to send our shortstop Jeter Downs to the Red Sox. But two things: one, he's a shortstop, and we absolutely lack no depth in middle infield. We're covered. And then I was watching the first spring training for the Red Sox yesterday, and Jeter Downs was playing shortstop. And the first thing I saw of him was him make 2 consecutive errors in a row. Both of them were, at least one of them was like a really, really routine play. and it was
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, I
Wow.
saw that.
Terrific.
Wait, so what actually happened though? Like, why? I don't actually know why the trade almost didn't go through. Is it something to
So
do with the
basically,
Twins?
yes,
It was
Gratterall.
yeah.
That's how you say it, right?
Yeah, Bruce or Grad or
Yeah. Anyways,
yeah.
he was a bullpen relief pitcher who had been in a bullpen job, and everybody was like, "Yeah, he's a relief pitcher," and he was like, "Yeah, I'm a relief pitcher," and the Red Sox were like, "Yo, this dude is a solid starter." And then his medical came back, and as it turns out, he was a relief pitcher. And then the Red Sox were mad about it. And they were like, okay, now we need another top 10 prospects. And the Twins were like, bro.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, it all worked
Barry-
out. I think probably for the Dodgers' favor.
Yeah, worked out for
Barry,
the Twins.
didn't you
as
say
well.
something
Yeah.
something a while ago about how the trade that you really hated last season?
Oh, yeah.
That, basically got you Mookie Betts.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about that a bit?
Yeah. So last season, the Dodgers at the time made another stupid looking trade. We said we sent over Yasiel Puig, who I liked, Matt Kemp, who was coming off a pretty decent season, Alex Wood, who was also a pretty decent pitcher, and some minor league prospects, I think, and cash.
And cash.
All in return for like two mediocre minor league
What do
prospects.
you mean mediocre?
Well, at the time they were mediocre.
I was
Like-
going to say, now they're pretty
Is
bad.
that Jacob Benjamin Jenkins I hear?
It is Jacob Benjamin Jenkins.
Woo, he's
He's
a
arrived.
But
First.
one of those guys,
Hello.
yeah,
Welcome.
one of those guys was Jeter Downs,
Oh.
and then we were able to turn him kind of into Mookie Betts
And
it
Price.
cleared
Kind of.
up. Yeah, it also
So that's a good example of how
yeah.
even though trading sometimes looks really weird, like with the Mookie Betts trade with the Red Sox,
Yeah.
how all the Red Sox fans were mad.
Yeah.
It's a good example of how in the future that can turn into something.
Yeah, that's
Well,
true.
really
the other thing
productive for
that
the
it
team.
allowed to happen was it allowed Alex Verdugo to come up to the MLB because we cleared out our outfield basically, and that I think increased his value, which also
Oh, yeah.
helped with the Betts trade.
All right.
Watch the Red Sox trade Jeter Downs again next season. Another trade like
They
that.
probably will.
Just hops around the entire league.
Oh, and we also got David Price.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh man,
yeah.
that was fantastic. Although I don't know where that came from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
they,
no-
because
yeah.
they wanted to. Basically, Boston signed a bunch of huge contracts because they were thinking short term, win the World Series, we'll deal with the fallout later.
which
And-
happened.
Yes, which
And
I mean, it worked out well for them because they won the World Series,
Yeah.
but now they're dealing with the fallout. So
Right.
I forget, but like two of their pitchers' salaries per year
Chris
is
Sale's
greater than the
salary,
Marlins.
and so David Price signed the biggest
Yeah,
contract for a starting pitcher ever
yeah.
with $210 million.
Wow.
And then they signed.
Yeah.
They
and
have
signed
Sale
Chris Sale
on a
for
massive
a
contract.
huge chunk of money. Have Betts on a huge contract. And
Well,
JD
he's not on a
Martinez.
huge contract yet. He's on a
Well, but to keep him, they're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
have to give. And then Martinez is also on a
Yeah.
big contract. So I would say, one, congratulations on the trade. That's awesome that you get your
Yes.
favorite player.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I'd say the only downside right now is you're just going to eat a lot of money for David Price.
well, they gave us half. They paid for half his salary.
yeah,
So.
but still.
But
And let's be
so
real,
we're
though,
paying
like, the
we're paying
money-
David Price the same amount that we've been paying Rich Hill for the last 3 years.
Oh, okay, wow.
So all he has to do
Is-
is do as good as Rich Hill did.
So wait, is Rich Hill gone now?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a free
He's
agent.
on
Rich
the
Hill's
Twins.
on the Twins,
Right.
man.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
but he's not available
Which
till
is-
June.
interesting.
Why not?
Oh, don't talk to me about injuries, David. Just don't. Okay.
wait. Rich
Luis
Hill is
Severino
injured.
went down, right?
What?
Rich Hill is injured.
Luis
yeah, but
Severino is.
We're still in pretty good
boy.
shape. We've got.
Caleb has a thought on Luis Severino.
No,
boy.
it's fine.
Oh boy.
Another spring training news. So the Yankees, right? Last season, after abusing the IL with 39 stints for different players, it's like
I think you mean
smashed the
DL.
record.
That's incredible.
So last year, Luis Severino, I remember this because I was going to watch the spring training game that night. He was supposed to start against the Braves, go 3 innings. And I was like, this is going to be fun. Haven't seen him since basically since the wild card against the Twins in the postseason, and I was just looking forward to seeing him.
A long time ago.
Yeah, and then I was like, all right, here we go. And then, well, the game started, and he didn't start. And we were like, okay, why isn't this guy starting? And then it was like, oh, he's got a lat strain. So that's what it turned into. And he was questionable for opening day. I was like, all right, it's fine. I can wait till opening day. And then Dylan Betances got injured and everyone else. But it just, with Luis Severino, it kept being pushed back to around June. The All-Star break, he'll probably come back. Maybe not then. And then he finally came back at the end of September. He made his first start against the Angels on like September 16th. And he barely pitched after that. So this year I was really excited to see him. And our starting pitching was looking like it'd be a lot of fun to watch this year. Well, then James Paxton has back surgery, out for 3 to 4 months. And then Luis Severino now has forearm tightness, which is a very possible precursor to Tommy John surgery.
Oh.
And they said that he's been experiencing it since like last.
Yeah, they say it's been happening for a while,
Well,
since like the postseason or so when he threw a little bit. But he also has like a loose body in his elbow, but they said they didn't have to remove that. But he just has a lot of arm problems right now, which is such a pain because the two guys I really wanted to see are now injured. But it's fine.
Yeah, that kind of happened to me last season with Rodon and Kopech.
That's
because
true.
they both
Kopech,
got Tommy
that's
John
true.
as well.
Yeah, but the Yankees do have a very promising
Right.
look for this season, so I can't complain too much. But
Right.
that is a pain.
So, yeah.
That's
in
about
other
it, I
news,
guess.
Yeah.
Nothing much
last-
has happened in the off season, I guess, other than bets
No.
and those injuries, I guess.
Yeah, since our last talk.
But by the time this episode releases, which is March 1st, March is officially, the month that opening day is in.
Yeah, we're almost there.
Almost there.
And isn't
We're
it
so close.
Isn't it the earliest like opening day ever, like March 26th?
Yeah,
I
it's
think
really
so,
early.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty early.
Which is funny because I think a couple years ago
Yeah.
it was the earliest ever as well on the 28th.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And keeps getting
Gets-
earlier.
Pretty much gets earlier every
keep
year.
getting snowed out.
Yeah, a couple of
It's
them did.
because they're gonna
the Tigers
extend the
missed the
playoffs
first
now.
4 games.
No, is that official though?
last-
Yeah, it's just an idea. You want to talk about that actually? A little bit?
The
new
postseason
playoff format.
I think that would be good to talk about because then we can segue that into Manfred
Right.
and then into the
Yeah.
whole Astros thing.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
why
Yeah,
don't
let's
we
go
start with
Manfred.
that? So there was some
Let's
news
take-
about
But let's only spend a few minutes on it.
yeah.
Because we
So
have to cover.
because I think it's also quite just a rumor, like kind of a rumor. But Manfred, I think, right?
It's an
he-
idea,
He
basically.
released a new proposed system for the postseason, and it's kind of complicated now because like wild card games are now series of 3, and like isn't it like the best team in the league will get a rest until the division series,
Yes.
while everyone else has to play
Yeah.
a bunch of games and teams can
Yeah.
choose their opponents or something. I don't know. What do you guys know about it?
Yeah, so the best team in the league will get a 10-day break, like the best team in the American League and the National League.
Basically,
Well-
a first round bye.
well, no, so it's
Right.
the same as the divisional round.
yeah,
It's
they
the same
they,
bye
they
as you get
automatically
the divisional
advance to
round.
the division series.
Yeah. So wildcard games are 3, and
Yeah.
let's see, I forget which series it is, but for one of them, you get to choose. The better team gets to choose who they're gonna play.
Yeah. So the division winner with the second best record in the league would get to decide which of the bottom 3 wildcard teams it wants to play in the opening round per MLB.com. So
I don't like
Yeah.
that at all, honestly.
There's
I would
so
agree.
many things I hate about that.
Yeah.
Like the luck of like the luck and like the anticipation of like, oh, who are you gonna face next? You know, that's
Yeah.
like part of the fun, at least I
Right.
think.
Yeah.
If you
And
get to
part of
choose, you're
the-
just gonna get teams who maybe already been playing each other over and over.
The other thing
Right.
is it would be expanding. I don't know if you said, but it's expanding it to how many teams? 7 teams.
Seven.
Yeah,
per-
seven.
Yeah,
per league.
which I don't.
Is
The thing that I don't
huge.
like about that, and I've heard other people express their concerns, is it's such a long season
Yeah.
that it kind of
Yeah.
allowing that many teams into the postseason. It takes away value from
Right.
doing so well in the 162 game season.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And because
Exactly.
baseball is such a long season, it doesn't work as well as other sports,
Yeah.
say like hockey or
Yeah,
football,
exactly.
where there are like less games.
But
So
this could be a follow-up to them shortening the season again because it didn't used to be
Right.
162 games.
right.
But yeah, it's an interesting idea. I think it'd definitely be really weird to have the top team pick who they want to play.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that'd be the worst thing in the world, but it'd be kind of strange. I
Yeah.
don't like the 7 teams.
The
from
thing,
each
the
Yeah.
thing about the picking their opponent for the top team, it's an interesting idea because I don't think it's a thing in any other sport. Is
No.
it?
No.
But
definitely not.
it does give like that much more of an incentive to do really, really well
Right.
and come in as the number 1 team.
Well,
Yeah.
number
It does.
2 team is the one that gets to
Oh,
pick.
number 2.
but, like-
because number 1 team gets a bye.
Yeah.
but
So for last season, if they had this in place, the Yankees would have had the number 2 seed, and they could have picked between the Rays, Indians, or Red Sox. So
Red
I think
Sox
the
for sure.
obvious choice would be the Red Sox. So it just seems
But then
kind of
who
unfair.
wouldn't love seeing a Yankees Red Sox postseason?
That's
matchup?
true.
I'm not
true.
as opposed to that one. I
Yeah,
think it could be
same.
interesting.
Right.
I like the picking, and I have to say, well, I like the randomness of the 1-game wild card, but it would be interesting to see how it plays out over 3
Personally,
games.
I like the 1-game wild card because that's the
Same.
point.
I like
It's
it.
a wild card.
Same.
The reason that you it. Sorry, I need to close my thought.
Restart.
You want to win. Okay. It gives incentive to try to win your division because if you win your division, you get an actual series, and in a series, it's more likely that the best team is going to win. But in a wild card, it's not guaranteed. It's baseball, so any game can go any way. Even the Marlins could beat the Astros in 1 game.
Yeah, and like with that, like especially like with the A's, for example, who could only make it to the wild card. But like then in that scenario, the fight for the home advantage is much bigger. Because in a series, like I'm sure the home advantage is. Wait, would all 3 be played in one?
Yeah,
city?
all 3
Yeah,
would be
all
at the
3 games
Oh,
will be
shoot.
played
the winning
Same.
team
at the
stadium.
team with the better record.
Well, that's. I still don't like it though. 3 games is.
So,
is,
no.
but
is
then-
too-
Personally, I like
I
the
agree.
1-game wild
Yeah,
card.
but remember there'd be 3 series, 3 wild card series.
Mm-hmm.
If you have 2 seed and 6 seed, or whoever they pick, then 3 and 5 and no, not 3 and 5. I did that math wrong. But there'd be 2 and 7, 3 and 6, 4 and 5. But yeah, that'd be interesting for sure. I do like the randomness of the 1 game, but I think it'd also be interesting in 3 games.
Yeah.
The one thing I wouldn't like is the 7 teams. From
Yeah,
each
I would
I
agree.
Yeah.
That's too many. I think I'd be okay if I could live if they did 6 because that's like with other sports that's what they're doing. It'd be 1 more team and honestly I feel like there are a couple more teams that deserve it every year that don't quite make it. But
Orioles.
yeah, amen.
Tigers.
But yeah,
Yeah, Tigers.
Tigers.
There you go.
But yeah, I could live with that. But not my favorite postseason format. It'd just be a big change.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just makes if you're one of the, in total, 14 teams that make it, there's only 30 teams in the MLB.
Yeah, that's true.
So I feel like it just makes getting to the postseason less special for those teams that feel like they really earned it.
Yeah.
And then with the whole wild card thing, like you guys already said, it's supposed to be random. It's supposed to be this really intense game because otherwise it's just a series that the better team could easily win.
Yeah.
I mean, still not necessarily, but that's
But it's more likely.
It would be more likely, and so I really love the drama of the 1 game where
Yeah.
I
nobody
agree.
knows what could happen.
Yeah.
And so I really don't like this postseason format
Yeah.
for
So
those reasons.
then here's the question: do you like the postseason format now?
Yeah.
I do.
I do.
I really do.
I'd say yeah.
Yeah, I think it has the perfect number of teams because the 3 division leaders from each league, and then the 1 team that, or the 2 teams that earned it go to the wild card game. So, I really think it's a harder race to actually get to the postseason, which makes it feel more special.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think what I read about this whole postseason change is that why why Manfred is thinking about it is mostly because more games and more teams involved means more media deals. That's kind of the thing that's keeping him in his position, and that's why we've heard so many players come out against it, because it's solely for the money and for the marketing.
Which is why he was elected as commissioner, was for all the media stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
which on one hand is good,
becoming apparent.
That you have someone who knows how to market the sport, because because you want people to like the sport, you want people to watch it.
Well, it really is critical for the future of the game.
Yeah.
Well, I'd say,
and it's true that the game is kind of dying. There are less and less viewers every year.
The game's really hurting right now.
But it's questionable as to how good a job he is actually doing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right, exactly.
Making a better future.
Exactly. So with this whole postseason change, I mean, we've only heard very little about it, and I'm sure there'll be more, statements and stuff. But like Barry said, it's been overshadowed by a particular
other failing of Manfred.
Other story.
Yeah.
Which perhaps now is the time to
to
wrap up the episode, and we'll see you next month.
So
where do we even start?
Last month we talked about what we thought of the Houston Astros scandal, and that was Christmas Eve, so we didn't know about the punishment or the Red Sox involvement. So
now
the
stop
punishment
you right
has
there
come
for a
out.
second.
Yeah.
I don't think the Red Sox cheated a little bit, and it's certainly not okay, but
it wasn't as much as the.
It's not nearly as much.
Yeah.
Because even with their cheating, they still required a runner to be on second base.
Right. That's true.
It's not.
Yeah. I think the
Red Sox are more excusable.
Yeah, I think the Red Sox are supposed to hear about their punishment.
Not excusable. It's not excusable.
What was that, Pesky?
The Red Sox are supposed to hear about their punishment in a week or so, right?
Yeah, it's pretty soon.
So we'll see.
I bet it'll be as light as a feather. But
imagine they take their trophy away from them.
Oh my gosh! Imagine it's worse than the Astros punishment.
They didn't even do it in the postseason, so you couldn't.
But leave it to Manfred to still take the trophy away.
So true. I mean, it's just a piece of metal, right?
Oh my gosh!
Oh my!
All right, where do we start, guys? We got 7 guys here. We all have the same opinion. Is that screw the Astros and Manfred?
Amen. Woohoo!
So where do we start with this discussion?
Does someone want to summarize the punishment that was given to the Astros?
David will.
All right, so basically, the Astros lost, 2 or 3 first-round picks?
Yep.
No, they lost their first-round pick and second round.
For the next 2 years, right?
For the next 2. So in total 4.
Yeah.
Which, the thing about that, actually, I'll just let David finish.
Their general manager and their manager both got suspended for a year.
Then fired.
And then their team fired them. Let's see what else happened. They were fined $5 million.
Which is nothing.
And I think that was it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. $5 million.
Wait. So you said they're fined $5 million, lost their draft picks.
The thing about baseball,
suspensions.
Suspensions.
I want to say there was.
And the players were granted immunity because they needed them to be honest about the investigation.
Yeah.
Okay. The thing about baseball is in other sports, I feel like football, for example, a first round pick is like really important.
Yep.
In baseball, it's not that it isn't important, but it's not as important as it is in other sports. I feel like because so many picks flop and so many like players blossom late that it's really unpredictable.
And all the trades and stuff, players could move anyway, like here and there at any time. So losing 2 first round picks, or a first round and a second round pick for 2 years, probably isn't going to kill the Astros. It's not going to kill the Astros.
Right.
The chances are not. I mean, there's probably pretty good chances that those picks wouldn't have ever made the MLB anyways.
I don't know about that.
Well, anyways,
because the Astros already have a strong core of minor league players.
They do have a strong core, but then there's a lot of teams. Their first round picks do get to the show pretty quickly. Like our first round pick from 2018 is already They're considering him for the
Well, that's because the White Sox have no good players on.
Okay, yeah, that's true. But still, like, a lot of these players coming out of college are good enough to make it to the show in a couple of years.
I feel like you could make the argument that they're not as valuable as they are in another sport. But at the same time, they're even more valuable because it's over. So, like, in football and basketball and stuff, it's for whenever you make a draft pick, it's for right now. There's no minor leagues. You go straight up. You are in the starting lineup. But in baseball, it's not like that. You take a couple years, and yes, these picks
Several
flop.
years.
Yeah, several years, and they barely earn any money, and they basically flop a lot of the time. But
Although MLB is raising wages of minor league players this year, which I think is pretty cool.
That's amazing.
Do we know what they're raising it to?
No.
Oh,
I just still not enough, but still
$2,
which will also probably mean higher ticket
enough
prices.
to buy pizza after a game.
Yeah.
But but then I'd say I think the Astros might be a little hurt by this tiny bit.
Oh, I mean, for sure.
I'd say not as hurt as other teams might be.
Yeah.
But still.
Well, in proportion, I don't think it's going to hurt them as much as it hurts the teams that they were cheating against.
Yeah.
Which is the problem.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And the players, too.
Yeah. Oh, the players.
Yeah.
The
players should have been punished.
Yeah, in the words of Aaron Judge, I thought it was a little weak about the punishment. So
if Aaron Judge and Mike Trout, even LeBron James talked about it. When LeBron James saying that the punishment was stupid, you know that the punishment was stupid.
I think didn't he say that Manfred was incompetent?
Yeah, I think so.
He did.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
A basketball player is saying that the commissioner of baseball is incompetent.
That's how bad it is.
That's how bad it is.
That's rough.
That's really
rough.
And then you hear things.
And then Manfred responded the next day by saying,
a horrible way.
You know what? After taking a while to consider this, I may have been a little too light on the Astros, and will take a little bit of time to reconsider.
Yeah.
He said in a perfect world, the players would have been punished. But the thing is, the world is in his hands.
He has
in terms of the baseball world.
See, here's the thing, though.
That's a great quote.
Here's his argument is that, in a perfect world, they would be honest with him about the investigation, right? So he wouldn't need to give them immunity. But in order for them to be honest and for them to say anything, they need that immunity.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
That's the wisest thing I've heard on this podcast.
It's so annoying.
Honestly, actually.
It is. But then there's the thing that you hear stuff about in the Champions League, Man City. There was this marketing thing. I don't even know what it was.
Yeah,
something with sponsorships.
So basically, they I don't know what it was, but basically they kind of abused their sponsorship deals to where they got tons of money and they're able to sign these superstar players with that money.
So then the punishment was the team itself, the entire team got suspended from playing in the league for 2 seasons, and they got fined £30 million.
That's a lot of money.
Which is a much bigger punishment.
That is
a massive punishment.
And £30 million is in that sport is a lot more than
and also
$30 million in baseball. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, the current coach also for Man City, I think one of the main reasons they brought him on was to win the Champions League, because Man City were already strong in their domestic leagues. The Champions League is one of their big things, and now if they can't have it for 2 years, that cripples their fan base, it cripples their future plans. They could lose a bunch of their star players if they realize they're not going to be able to play at the highest level for 2 years. But then you have the Astros who are just,
they're
literally
they did nothing. It's not gonna. It's maybe in 4 or 5 years, the first round and second round draft picks will hurt them a little bit. But for the next however many years, while they still have this core that's absolutely insanely talented, that's the other thing. It's not like they suck. It's not like they were cheating because they had no other way to win. No, they're a great baseball team.
Yeah.
They just cheated to get an even greater leg up on the competition, which, in my opinion, is the worst part. I don't know if they would have, but they had the talent to do it. They had the talent to do it cleanly.
And a lot of the players that have apologized, and sincerely, specifically Keuchel, they're we cheated and it was wrong, and we definitely won a lot of games that way. But in the end, we deserved to win the World Series because we had talent, which I'd say is
stupid.
Not entirely true, but also it is a good point because those are good players. Just the fact that they had to cheat, they could have won without cheating.
Yeah.
And
no,
so
I don't.
Yeah, but the thing is now we'll never know. That trust is just gone.
Yeah, that's true.
They can say it all they want, but we know they cheated.
And the thing is, I don't care if they claim that they could have won the World Series or they couldn't or not without cheating. They did cheat, so they forfeit their right to to have that
I
world,
would
they
agree
should
with that,
forfeit their right to that
100%.
World Series title because now it's in question, and they didn't. It's not like they had to cheat. If they thought they really did have the talent, then they should have tried to do it cleanly.
Right.
Yeah.
And they can't just complain about it now. Oh, well, we had the talent, so you should just give it to us.
It's a
if you
weak
had the
apology.
talent, why didn't you just go do it?
It's a weak
Yeah.
apology, really.
I mean, but admittedly,
Not to mention all the players whose careers they destroyed.
That's
like
what-
players
Yeah.
that
So
come
true.
up from the minor leagues.
That's honestly the
there's that
worst
one
part.
guy.
They get
There's that
one
one guy who's
chance
suing the
and-
Astros, right? Because of that.
Right.
Yeah, right, exactly. And I'm totally for him because
Absolutely.
his career could have been completely changed had
Absolutely.
they not
Yeah.
cheated.
Yeah.
There are like some top tier guys that got called up, and then they played the Astros, and they got completely blown out of the water.
Yeah, they got cut.
They just got destroyed, and then the team cut them, and it's because
No,
of
there's
sign
just
stealing.
Terrible.
I will say the guy
You're
that
destroying their lifestyle.
Yeah.
yeah. I was watching just a clip on the guy that sued the Astros, and his numbers, I will say, were not great.
Right.
And he was probably going to get sent down rather. But I mean, yeah, the last game that he played against the Astros was the last game that he played in the MLB, which was 2
Yeah.
years ago, 3
Yeah.
years ago.
Hmm.
And just the fact that he hasn't got a shot to come up, that's directly correlated to the game with the Astros, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And that's what I think a lot of the MLB players who are really mad about it
Yeah.
are mad about. Especially the
Yeah.
ones that didn't get cheated out of anything.
I want to read something from this is the Houston Chronicle on what Jim Crane said about the World Series. And y'all already know this quote. Our opinion is that this didn't impact the game. We had a good team. We won the World Series, and we'll leave it at that. But this extra part was really good. It said Crane, as TV cameras zoomed in and the baseball world listened intently to everything the Astros said. Translation, we won, you lost, get over it. We cheated, we keep admitting it, but you can't do anything else about it. Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred already issued his report, and no one is taking away our precious trophy. And then and then it goes on to say about how he was like, I didn't say it didn't impact the game, but he said he's not going to go backwards, and they're just like, it doesn't matter, we won, you lost, get over it, even if
Right.
we
Yeah.
cheated.
Which begs the question.
It's just so frustrating.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, do you guys think that their trophy should be stripped?
Oh,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Without a doubt.
Well, but, okay, I do want to say this. I asked this the last time we recorded, and I think everyone said no. I don't think anyone in
Yeah.
this group was in favor of it, while I was.
I
Have
was
those
still-
feelings
I
changed?
still am not in
Yeah, I'm
favor
still
of
not in
that.
favor.
I'm not in
I mean,
favor.
I'm
How?
very
For
much in
one-
favor.
How
understand-
can you not be in favor
They
of that?
cheated.
I
That's
understand.
it. That's it. They cheated. It's not. They didn't have to cheat. It wasn't. They cheated.
Your
Yes.
opinion has
How-
changed
how
since
can
they
you
came
not
out the
strip
punishment.
that?
But the reason why I don't think it should be stripped is because then it would go to the Cubs.
Well, that's not a reason for stripping it.
I don't think it's how
It's not a reason for not stripping
That's how it works. It goes to the previous winner of the World
Right.
Series.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
that's
but
not a
it's
good
not
reason
like,
to not
no one's
strip
gonna
it.
be like, oh, the Cubs were champions 2 years or 3 years ago.
Exactly. No one's going to be like,
Cubs
the
fans
Cubs
are.
had such a fantastic
Well, Cubs
team.
fans,
Cubs
yeah,
fans
but
are
fans. That's
As
just-
David said, opinions have changed since last time, but we've also learned more since last time.
That's also true.
Well, you
And
had the
it
same-
should be stripped.
And
no,
I
And
would
there's
say-
things
no
that
doubt
we
in my
didn't
mind.
know last time have come out officially. And
Right.
with all that considered, I think absolutely their champion should be tripped.
Wait, hold
There's
on.
just-
David said he disagreed though. Why?
Yeah.
Why do you?
Why do you disagree?
Well, yeah, why
Well,
do you
see,
disagree?
I mean,
And
the
Josh, you
stuff we
did
knew
too.
last time, like
Yeah.
with all the trash cans and stuff, like, I mean, obviously, they did cheat, and it's terrible for the game. It's bad publicity, and so what I think it would be okay. I could live with it if they stripped their title. I don't think it should go through either the Yankees or the Dodgers. 'cause
No,
I
you
agree.
don't
Oh,
know
I
who
agree.
goes.
Absolutely.
I agree with you.
I
But-
don't think that you need to give the title
the
to
Tigers
anyone.
should
I
They
would
also-
prefer
I
they
agree
didn't
with
give it to
Josh.
anyone. I just don't think anyone deserves
The
it.
Reds.
Really.
Yeah, but I don't think you can give it to the
Tigers.
Astros. Here's this. Here's the World Series. Here's some scores. So let's see. We lost.
We as in the Dodgers.
No, we as in the Dodgers. We lost.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
2 games.
That's what I
Okay,
just
we lost.
said.
There are 2 games that we lost at Houston in the 2017 World Series.
12-11.
One of them was 3-5 But the other one was the one that was 12-13.
13-12. Oh, my bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Houston won 13-12. And it was such a nail biter of, responding back and forth. And would they have won that game without cheating? If they didn't know what was coming, would they have won that game?
We don't know.
Well, here's the thing.
That's the thing.
We don't know what pitches they hit based on knowing what was coming, what wasn't.
Right.
We don't know if that was actual skill or if they were cheating. You know, it's like, and we knew they were cheating the whole time. But I'm saying, like, what specifically about that game, we don't know.
Yeah.
But just to me, the fact that, I mean, it's just like I wasn't sure how I felt about them stripping the title, and then I heard Aaron Judge talk about it, and he's a very reasonable guy. He doesn't get upset easily. He's very wise and
his
just
name
smart.
is Judge, right?
Yeah, well, right, yeah. and he lives it out. Like, he acts up to it. He's a great guy. Like, such a just good example of a good man, and just he's great. But what he said was just like, he's like, I just don't see. He's like, they cheated. He's like, that's it. He's like, it's tainted. Like, it's not. He's like, they didn't earn it the right way. They don't deserve it because they didn't earn it the right way. Mm-hmm. And it was just I recommend watching it. It was really, really good to hear. And it was very reasonable. And I was like, okay. And that's why I think it should be stripped, just because it's like, and there's no way that it's not tainted. And it's just like, that's always going to be an asterisk in everyone's minds, whether it's technically one or not.
And even thinking about this from the Astros point of view, or like a fan's point of view, why do you want that trophy so bad?
Yeah, no, there are fans all over YouTube
it's the first
saying
trophy
we don't
in
want
franchise
this.
history.
Yeah,
That's
but
true.
you didn't get it the right way.
That's true.
There's so many fans that I've heard say, I'm so ashamed right now.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
I do think David does have a point as well, though.
Yeah.
It's like, if it's the first trophy ever.
Yeah, so now your first trophy ever is going to be remembered as the one you cheated on.
That's fair.
Do you want that in your organization history? As everybody said, it's not going to be forgotten. I mean, some Astros players have acted like it's going to be forgotten within a season or two, but it's not. Nobody's forgotten the Black Sox scandal or the steroid things. It's going to be remembered. And do you really want that first trophy that you have to have that asterisk on it? And it's absolutely going to have that asterisk on it. Nobody in baseball, other than maybe an Astros fan, is going to respect that win. Absolutely not.
Yeah, but
why would they?
This is also why Manfred did what he did, because he said, like, even if he takes away the trophy or he punishes the players, like, in his mind he thought that everyone else's thought about it now, about the Astros, about that championship, is always going to be tainted, like you said. So that's why he felt like he didn't need to actually take it away, or he didn't need to punish specific players, because to him,
I didn't know that.
The criticism they'd receive was kind of enough. And I do think part of that was him just saying that to kind of help, even though it didn't help.
But then he also called the trophy a piece of metal.
Right.
Yeah, so he's been all over the place.
Yeah.
But so the reasons I think that the trophy should not be stripped is, number one, I personally think that no matter what, you can't, because we can't go back in time and redo that playoff.
Not yet.
What else are we going to do with the trophy? Just leave it as
that's fair.
Like 2017, nothing happened.
Piece of metal.
I think you can't take away the trophy, but you can definitely. I don't necessarily agree with a ton of stuff that Rob Manfred does, but I think he has a point when he says that will be forever tainted, because I think if you take it away, people in the future will look back and think, I wonder what happened. But if you add the asterisks and go, they cheated, then the Astros organization, whether or not they're affected by it at all, which right now it doesn't seem like they really are, because they're just like, we're justified in it. People will always look back and go, you guys cheated. And that'll really hurt the history of the organization.
Yeah.
But also, I just don't see how you can strip a title, no matter how that title is earned. I'm furious with what the Astros did, but I just don't see how you can possibly strip the title.
Right.
It's a really good point.
Yeah, it just seems like
that's good.
there's no good option. You don't want to leave it with them, but you don't really want to strip it either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess some of
it
the
to the
problems.
Cheat.
Sorry.
I'm kidding. It's a joke.
Barry.
It's a joke.
What'd you
Don't
say?
give the
Barry?
trophy to the Cubs.
Oh, don't.
I was like,
Actually, Jacob, I haven't heard you say anything.
No, I've hardly said anything.
Your one of your pitchers is actually the first ones who started like the whole players.
That's because of you.
Voices being heard, right?
It was Keuchel. It was on the White Sox.
No, but
No.
I think
Alex Wood was
Trevor
the-
Bauer's
Oh,
ran.
oh, yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
I'm talking
Bauer,
about that. His
the
rant
rant,
was maybe
right.
the one that
Yeah.
kind of
Caused them to investigate.
caused the landslide of like Trout and Judge and
He also
everyone
kind
else
of paved the
came after.
way to like people lashing out at Manfred
Yeah.
too. He was
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
first one.
Yeah, but I mean, do
Trevor
you have
Bauer is just.
A legend.
What a legend.
I mean, yeah.
He's great.
He's very outspoken, and
Yeah.
he
Without
doesn't
very
really
honest.
care what people think.
No.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna say his opinion whether people like it or not, and like he doesn't really care.
No.
Yeah.
And
And
if you
He's gonna
haven't
throw
seen
the ball over the center field wall.
Right.
If he likes it or not.
And then he
What
got
an
traded.
That's the Google thing for today.
Yeah.
No,
Look
no,
up
no.
that video.
Another Google thing. If you
That was
haven't
the last-
seen
We can
Bauer's
only have
rant,
one, guys.
No, but if you haven't seen Bauer's rant, go look it up. It's on his YouTube channel called
Yeah,
Momentum.
it's actually pretty
It's a
good.
really good rant about this whole situation.
Guys,
And,
that ball was the last one he threw as an Indian.
yeah,
Yep.
Oh,
it
wow.
was.
Actually?
Yeah.
For real?
Because he
It
got
was.
traded
It
like.
was.
Oh, I didn't
What
know
a
that.
legend.
That's hilarious.
Jacob's gonna have fun watching.
Way to
it
go out
this
with
year.
I mean,
Bang,
yeah,
right?
amen. That's exactly what I was about to say, Josh. Like, wow, what a way, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm quite sure they told him like soon, like or right after he got pulled from that game that he was going to get traded,
Yeah.
or that he might get traded. Right after he got pulled and threw the ball over, that's when they're like, "Yeah, we're trading you."
Did you hear the joke that he
FYI,
made?
that was your last
He
move.
was
I don't
like-
know which one.
Yeah. What he said was, "Yeah, I threw the ball so far that it landed in Cincy, and they told me to get it. By the time I got there, they told me to stay."
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
funny. Oh, speaking of jokes, do you want to know what's funny?
Oh, no.
So, you know, Cody Bellinger was talking about the Astros scandal.
Yes,
and
he was not exactly
he
happy about it.
Well, he vehemently said that.
As opposed to all the other plays. That were happy about.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you said you weren't happy about what Bellinger said.
Oh,
okay. No, that was awesome what he
no,
said.
he absolutely.
But it was funny because he just like he was furious and he just says like, you know, he's like yeah, Altuve stole the MVP from Judge, and then Judge was talking about, you know, then he was giving his take on it in an interview, and they're like, all right, so what do you think about it? He was like, yeah. And they're like, so do you? He said that Altuve stole the MVP from you. He's like, how do you feel about that? And he says, well, he's like, I don't really. He's like, I'm not gonna say he stole it. He's like, I don't think he did. He's like, obviously you can tell that he felt he didn't earn it. But yeah, shortly after Altuve won the MVP over him, he tweeted him and just texted him congratulations. And then he removed the tweet after the sign stealing scandal, and he was just like, you don't deserve that.
Never mind.
But yeah, but they're like, he's like, no, I'm not gonna say he stole it. He's like, and I mean, he's like, well, he's like, and then Judge says, I guess the only person I can blame is myself. Next time I'll just have to not leave it so close for the voters. So, which is just funny.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I just thought that was a good way to look at it. But just like, yeah, I just have to make it not so close next time, you know.
I mean, good.
It's funny.
I also
go
love
back
what
and
Mike
look at-
Trout had to say about it.
Yeah.
True.
He was. He
If
said
I
it so
knew
simply.
every pitch that was
Well,
coming.
yeah. If I knew what pitch was coming, I'd have a pretty good time.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
Go back and look at Altuve's
That's so
road
true.
numbers in 2017, because I think he hit close to 400 on the road. I'm not even kidding.
That's insane.
No, he was a great.
So- I mean,
he's a great hitter. No
Yeah,
question.
That's
I know-
the thing.
I know
is
he
the
cheated
the
at
whole
home,
Astros team
but-
is so good.
Yeah, nobody's
So
saying
why
that
they cheat?
it was the cheating that made the Astros good. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe a few players like Josh Reddick, who had a really good season in 2017 and has sucked ever since.
Well,
kind of.
what
And
I
before.
read though is that actually Reddick was one of the few who didn't want to do it.
That's what Correa said.
Is
Correa
that
said
is that true? Oh,
Reddick-
Correa said it.
Correa
Then who
also
knows?
said
Reddick
that they
and Brian
earned it,
McCann,
so
I think,
I kind
were-
of question everything.
Let's see. Reddick, Altuve, Brian McCann, maybe Tony Kemp.
Who is on the A's now?
Yeah. Uh oh.
Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to talk about.
Fires?
Is because, I mean, let's be real. The most affected teams from their cheating, and
A's,
especially if they
Angels,
were cheating
Rangers.
in 2019, which
Yeah.
they haven't said. No, but it's not official that they were, but it's definitely suspicious.
Well, the reason it's not
wow.
official is because Manfred wrote in the report that they didn't in 2018, 2019, or at least that he didn't want to get into that. And because of that, the Astros have all this immunity in all their interviews and stuff, because if the commissioner himself wrote it, they can quote that directly and say, yeah, but the report says we didn't do anything, so you can't say it.
Yeah, but since
Which
then,
is why I hate Manfred.
they've admitted that they cheated in 2018 as well.
Who did?
Since then,
Who
that's
did?
that's known. They cheated in 2018 as well.
So I don't
except
trust
they
a single
didn't
thing
because
that
Manfred
that
said they didn't.
an
Exactly.
Astro player says. Honestly.
But like, no, I'm pretty sure like the Astros player said they did or something like that. But
Never mind. I trust
they
the Astros player.
They might, but Manfred left it out of the report. So
well, right. But then what he said in
officiated.
2019, he's like, well, do we really know if they use buzzers?
Exactly,
No,
yeah.
we don't. But because they weren't 100% honest with
That
us,
doesn't matter.
we can't punish them.
Yeah.
Based on it. I know, right, Josh? Yeah, it's just like
so dumb.
So dumb.
Wait,
I
Barry,
get
what
so
were you saying
frustrated
about
with him.
earlier? You were
First of all-
to say something, and then we cut
Yeah,
you
I'll
off.
get to that one sec. If they use buzzers, like game over.
I'm about
all
to be
those,
so
all those,
mad right now.
players
I-
need to be
I-
just like banned from the game.
I got up
I
at
agree. Bring
I got
back
up
the
at
Expos.
3 a.m. to watch Game 6. I was so happy when DJ LeMahieu hit that game-tying home run with an out in the top of the 9th inning. I was going crazy.
Yep.
And then to have it, and then here's the thing: Altuve hit his walk-off in the bottom of the 9th, and he rounds the bases. I'm like, all right. And I listened to the interview, and I was like, you know what? I respected the Astros. Like, I liked their players. I was like, you know what? They won that. They deserved it. And the Yankees felt the same way. They congratulated them, and they really wanted them to win the World Series.
Yeah.
And if they were using buzzers that series, I mean, it's like all this friendliness and respect between the Astros and the Yankees is about to go down the drain, and the Astros deserve to get hit about 3,000 times.
It's exactly
If
what
they were
I'm
using
saying.
buzzers,
Expos
all those
kind
players
of
should be
joking, kind of not.
they should be banned from the league.
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't say banned.
I would say.
Send him
ooh,
to.
I would say it's pretty close.
Long
I would
They
say
should
you
be.
strap a buzzer on, you get banned.
I'd
End of
say
story.
like multiple season suspension. I wouldn't say banned.
Well,
I
here's
would
the
say
thing.
banned.
Here's the thing: they could be banned from just what they did in 2017
Yeah.
and 18.
Right.
Like, it's possible. You know, like people have been banned for. I mean, Pete Rose was
Take the
banned for
Black
gambling,
Sox
which is
scandal.
bad,
Yeah,
but
Black Sox.
but like
Yeah.
and Black Sox. I mean, 8 guys got banned for life for one series. You know, they threw it. Yeah, they received money. Yeah, but I mean, these guys threw seasons. You know,
Are we
like,
talking about the players or the team?
players?
Okay, players,
Yeah.
yes, banned.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree with
Oh,
that.
the
Yeah.
team.
Oh,
I
no,
thought
no,
you meant
don't
team.
ban the
I was
team.
like,
No.
wait a minute.
No,
Ban the
players.
Astros from the league.
No, but yeah,
Yeah, there's a
players.
reason
I
they're
agree.
not called the Black Sox anymore.
Guys, relax. If we get rid of the Astros, we can replace them with that college team that almost beat the Tigers.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Okay, but
Please.
Put 'em in
what I was
Montreal.
originally going to say was following that because, there's obviously some shadows and fog around what really went on in that 2019, especially that series of against the Yankees, is now Garrett Cole signs a huge contract and becomes a Yankee. So that's got to be kind of awkward.
He's a pitcher. It's fine.
It's
the
fine.
pitchers
He's a
didn't
pitcher.
participate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
Yankee
Yankee
but
fans love
still.
him, my friend.
I mean,
I'm just not
He got
Verlander-
a
looking forward to
standing
having Garrett Cole
ovation
in the
for his
Yankees.
first spring
Yeah,
training
yeah.
pitching.
Verlander's apology was kind of jerky, but
Yeah.
other than that, it's fine.
Verlander, the guy that was talking about this whole stuff.
What?
Like, I forgot exactly what he was saying,
Oh yeah.
but there was something that he was very adamant about something, and then
Yeah.
with that response, I don't remember.
Yeah.
exactly.
Although what was interesting is there's this video released in the World Series from Game 5 pretty sure it was Game 5 when Bregman hits his grand slam, and was that Game 4 or 5? I think it was 5.
In the World Series?
Yeah, World Series on the road.
And, like,
Game 5, and
His
they went
big
up 8-1.
celebration?
Yeah. Well, so he hit it, and
Is
then
it when he carried his bat?
No,
Oh.
no, not that.
That was
Not
Game
that.
6.
But then this is on the road in Washington.
Grand Slam
Hits
was
it.
Game
They go up
5.
8-1, and then and then it shows the dugout, and it shows Justin Verlander and Garrett Cole, and Justin Verlander throws up his arms and is going wild, like super happy and celebrating. And Garrett Cole just looks away, like super mad and upset about something. And everyone was like, "What? Proof that Garrett Cole wasn't happy with the sign stealing scandal?" But then if you actually watch it, like it's pretty clear that they made a bet or something that Garrett Cole lost because he's
Cole
it's funny
bet his
because
entire
is
first
that-
year
is that
Yankees
gambling?
salary.
Yeah.
No, guys, I just
well
had a
because he
thought.
hits it down the left field line and Justin Verlander is like saying stay fair, and then Cole's like saying go foul, and it's fair. And then he gets so mad. It's really funny. But it does. I thought it like epitomized how, just like how like some players didn't like it, but some players did, even if that wasn't exactly what's going on.
Wait a minute.
Imagine if
that,
the bet was
that
like
gambling? It was gambling.
Excuse me?
Ban him from the league!
For life?
Imagine if the bet was like Verlander was like, okay, if you lose the bet, you leave the team.
Lose the bet, you sign with the Yankees.
Yeah.
You lose the bet, you go to this other team.
Yeah.
Because, man, I don't know, but there's no way on earth that he actually wanted to lose that beard.
No.
No.
Oh, man.
No.
Poor
Yo,
guy.
maybe that was the bet.
Oh.
Yeah, you have to sign with the Yankees if you lose.
Anyway, I mean,
That's the worst
this is
punishment.
taking kind of a weird
All the
turn.
Astros should just go to the
Yeah,
Yankees.
yeah.
I have one more thought. So I know there's been, at least I read something, questions of whether or not the Astros were cheating on the road. So what if they were? And that might even explain a little bit why the Nats lost at home and won on the road. Because on the road, as we know, they were very vigilant about their changing up their signs. Because they knew something was up because all the other teams had told them. But at home, I would assume they were probably more relaxed because they might have thought that they weren't, that it hadn't gone that far and they weren't cheating on the road.
That's a good
Well, not
point.
necessarily, 'cause especially after losing 2 games, you think that they'd be like, okay, now we have to get our act together. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that.
Why would they let their guard down?
At all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially for a team
Because
like
It's
that.
the World Series.
It
You
had
can't
worked
afford
really
to
well
let
for
your
them
guard
the first
down.
2 games. Like, why would you change anything?
Right.
Yeah. I think maybe that whole, like winning all the away games, I think that was just a really cool moment of
think it's-
sports.
Yeah, I think it was a
Honestly.
coincidence. Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's pretty cool.
Plus the
Anyway,
Nats beat the
um,
Astros.
Thanks
So,
Lord
yeah, I
that
think
the
we're
Nats
gonna-
won that series.
All right.
Anyways,
well,
guys, we're
thank
running
you
out of
for
time.
tuning
How-
in.
yeah.
Yeah. thanks for
So, but
listening.
next time we
Sweet, I
see
get to go to
you,
bed.
baseball will be in full swing.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, no.
Yeah.
What?
We'll
This
be in
will-
the heart of
yes.
spring training.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, we
I
won't.
thought you meant like the season had started.
Yeah, ding-a-ling.
No, we won't.
Very.
The episode
No,
after
the
this is
next
April
time,
1st.
Next episode. Next
Yeah.
episode.
Not
Exactly.
this one. The next one.
Yeah.
The next one.
Yeah. The
But
next
we
one
By the
will be
way,
in the...
there's going to be some kind of April Fool's prank on the
Oh, yeah.
next
100%.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It'll be like
yeah,
45
we'll see
minutes
what
as
that is.
usual, but it's mostly silence.
I mean, that was what this
Just
one was
Jacob talking.
like. Just describing in detail the 4-game sweep.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you haven't listened to the first 2 episodes, they're pretty great. So please go check them out.
Anchor, Spotify, and Gami.
And yeah.
Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook,
Donate.
Instagram.
Barry's promise still stands, by the way.
MySpace.
Yeah.
Tinder. No, I'm kidding.
Let's give
Somebody
them
edit that
a
out, would you?
refresher of Barry's offer.
Yep, Barry.
Wait, what?
Well, wait,
Your
what was
offer.
Barry's offer?
Oh yeah, 100,000 followers, and we'll do
Oh,
a
yeah.
fried chicken giveaway. That's
Yeah.
still
Oh,
staying.
yeah.
100,000
Giveaway.
followers.
Yes.
Fried chicken giveaway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you
Thanks,
next
guys.
month.
See ya.
All right.
See ya.
See ya.
Ciao.